There's only two colors in this building tonight, be it a sea of red or waves of blue. It's either Indiana or Kentucky. One has won a national title, one has taken 3. And they're teams with prospective superstars that have always dreamed of playing for these two programs. You can call it a neutral 4 if you'd like. It's split right down the middle with over 20,000 on hand tonight. Freedom Hall in Louisville. We get set for the defending champions, the 6th-ranked Wildcats of Kentucky, taking on an undefeated Indiana team ranked number 8. Hi again, everybody. I'm Brad Nessler with Dick Vitale. Boy, it doesn't get much better than this, and I better, you got to get this red thing out of here. You can't wear that. I got green on tonight. I mean, that's what this is all about. Two great coaches we'll see tonight.
I'll tell you one thing. All the fans have been reminding me about that. I was so dumb that I put the red on. I'm in trouble. But I'll tell you one thing. Tonight, as you said, Brad, we got two of the mega stars of the coaching fraternity. On one side, the general has 3 national titles, and Rick Pitino, an unbelievable teacher on the other side, coming off the national title of last year.
Well, you know, I guess when you look at Bobby Knight, he's been around forever. It's the motion offense with a lot of picks. For Rick Pitino and Kentucky, it's pressure defense. Can Indiana handle that tonight?
Well, you know, we got some great players that'll be trying to handle those things. First of all, with Kentucky, we got a dynamic 1-2 punch in Anderson and also Mr. Mercer, the best 1-2 punch in America. But the key tonight will be A.J. Guyton. Can he handle the trapping defenses of Kentucky? And I'll tell you something else. Mr. Andre Patterson better be a P.T. Pierre like he was against Duke. This place is rocking, Brad. Look at it.
It already is. We're getting ready for a great one. It's Indiana and Kentucky, the border war for the 40th time. Knight and Pitino when we come back.
ESPN's presentation of NCAA basketball is brought to you by Chrysler and the cab forward sedans of Chrysler. What's new in your world?
Back at Freedom Hall in Louisville, packed house, split right down the middle for Indiana and Kentucky. Number 8 against number 6, and let's check our Magnavox starting lineups. First for Kentucky and Rick Pitino. Jared Prickett will have his hands full tonight. He'll draw Andre Patterson in the man-to-man, but he's going to have help, Rick Pitino said. Epps and Anderson in the backcourt, Mercer and McGlure up front. For Bob Knight's Hoosiers of Indiana, the freshman is starting to come on. Jason Collier, the 7-footer, 13 points and 9 rebounds in their win over Notre Dame earlier this week. Reed and Lewis and Guyton. Actually, it's a 3-guard backcourt. And then Andre Patterson, who Dick talked about. And the freshmen for Indiana, Dick, are going to have to come through huge tonight. And so far, they're doing a pretty good job.
I'll tell you, look at these numbers. They're just incredible. We look at the turnover ratio for the 3 freshmen. That's amazing. Only 1.8 turnovers per game by A.J. Guyton. And look at the minutes he's played. In fact, he's had 206. You ready for this? Minutes of play. And he's only turned the ball over 11 times. That's absolutely sensational.
He was one of the keys to the big victory over Duke. Patterson, of course, was the other with a season high, career high, 39. 26th year for Bob Knight at Indiana, and 14-14 against Kentucky.
He's under the weather tonight. He's got a bad cold. He's got a red eye, and he's really choking and coughing as we look at Pitino.
Pitino didn't have much of a voice today. That was from yelling the other night against Purdue in the grade 8. His 8th year.
He's got that hairstyle, though, beautifully. I'll tell you, I'm envious of that.
John Clockerty throws it up, and Indiana control. Reed out on top. And immediately the ball stripped away as Anthony Epps got a hand on it. It'll be interesting to see how Lewis and Guyton will handle this Kentucky pressure.
Well, Kentucky really worked hard today at practice, trying to get over the top of screens because they know Indiana likes to utilize the screens away from the basketball.
There was one on top. There's another already by Collier as Reed continues to run circles or try to around Mercer. Collier loses the handle. We're down to 10 on the shot clock, opening possession of the game.
3 guards on the floor, playing a guard-oriented team right now, Indiana.
He's got a hurry one, got a pretty good look. McGlure will clear off the miss.
Well, McGlure's really become a factor for them since the Great Alaska Shootout, giving them some post presence.
Prickett down low, wheels inside. Nice move around the freshman Collier, but he lost it out of bounds.
Collier's going to have to be very active inside, Brad. He's going to really have to attack the glass and really work because they got some quickness there, especially when they send Mercer and Anderson to the glass.
You couldn't get in this place with a police escort right now. They're standing up on the top row. Loose ball, Prickett with a steal. The outlet, Anderson on the run. Blocked, the foul.
I'll tell you, he's a high riser. You saw him there, up and away like the elevator man, Derek Anderson. Played brilliantly in a Great Alaska Shootout. He's home right now. He's from Louisville, Kentucky.
Almost signed with Louisville.
He is so explosive. I mean, this guy, you talk about a guy that really can put points on the board quickly. He's got the great lift, the tremendous bounce. And there is Patterson trying to recover.
Derek was relatively quiet in that victory over Purdue the other night. Had 12 points. Most of those came in the second half, and he's got the first point of this ball game.
He had to break the heart of Randy Ayers when he said, I'm transferring and leaving Ohio State, where he played so well for 2 years.
Got them both.
Here comes the full court press. They changed the look of their press constantly. Now they're not bothering the guy throwing the ball in bounds. They're face guarding.
Reed across the timeline.
He's been more comfortable this year because he's had to play without the basketball. Guyton's handled it more, and he's moved really well off without the basketball.
Here's Lewis driving the baseline and out of bounds. Stepped on the baseline. Good position by McGlure to force him wide.
Well, Kentucky does a great job in their defenses, rotating over, closing off any kind of angles that you want to get to go to the basket.
Anthony Epps will bring it up.
Unsung hero, really played so solid in their run for the national title.
Did he ever? Nice feed inside. Anderson had it stripped by Reed, and Kentucky with its first turnover.
Both clubs really uptight early and not executing offensively. Patterson was so big against Duke.
And Reed threw it away again. Steal by Epps. Cross court, Anderson, a Mercer rather, will pull up and bury it.
I'll tell you, what a 1-2 punch. There's not another tandem in America on the wings as explosive as Mercer and Mr. Anderson.
Guyton goes in, and it partially blocked and out of bounds. And Indiana a little ragged early. 4-0 Wildcats.
Bob told me earlier he's really concerned about getting a good start because he said, I don't know if we have the kind of club that can come from behind if we fall behind by double figures. Turnovers right away, 4 for Indiana.
Down low, Mercer, double team.
The only positive is turnovers. They have not converted them into offensive scores.
Right. Here's Anderson from 15. Prickett.
I'll tell you, he's a warrior. He just goes after every loose ball.
Epps for 3. Underneath, Mercer. Strong baseline.
Big time. I'll tell you, he was acrobatic against Purdue. With 30 on the board, he electrified people that were there. Gotta try to take you to a trapping area. As soon as you speed dribble, they'll run at you. Run and jump.
Last year in this matchup, Kentucky had a huge lead early. And Reed rips it for the first one for Indiana.
He can shoot the ball. He's got the great rotation, excellent touch.
6-2 Wildcats. Last year it was 17-4 Kentucky in the early going.
Bob's upset about the fact that the basket is up. He wants him to get that basket down. Got to watch Ron Mercer right now operating on the baseline. Excellent baseline performer. Now watch his agility. Watch, he's shooting over the top of a 7-footer. There's a little jump hook. I mean, just got great jump. I'll tell you, they're so dynamite with those two. I love them. In fact, I was thinking today, I was talking to our producer, Timmy Corrigan, and we saying, like, who can be a better combination? In fact, you and I were sitting here talking as well about it.
Couldn't think of too many, could we?
No, we couldn't think of many 1-2 punches better than these two. I couldn't think of any. Look at a high post screen by McGlure.
Anderson for 3.
Got it. Credit that, though, to McGlure, getting him free with that screen. Doing all the little things. There's that trap, full court trap. Got to look opposite.
Down low, Collier. Had it blocked from behind, but McGlure got him.
Got to go quick to the goal right there, Jason, and jam that down and make them pay for those traps. You're going to watch Anderson right here, McGlure. See, he's going to come up and set the screen. I'm going to see McGlure, 42. There's the screen. He's going to help you out. Yeah, Derek, I'm going to help you out. You're home. You're with all your buddies. Knock it down. MBN, nothing but nylon.
So here's the 7-foot freshman at the free throw line. Off the mark. Kentucky 4-1 on the season. The career highs by both Anderson and Mercer, and they have all 9 points for Kentucky so far.
And I think a big stat there also, forcing 20 turnovers a game. Jason Collier made 2 big threes against Notre Dame when their backs were against the wall.
Anderson got position down low.
See, that's the ability. They can invert them. They can bring them from the perimeter to the baseline. He posts up really well. Very versatile.
I don't know about the three-guard offense so far for Indiana. Reed got a look, gave it up. Finally, touched by Patterson.
They got to get some looks for Patterson, better shots. They got to get him some shots offensively.
They come up with a steal.
Andre's got to assert himself. They're going to need a big-time performance out of him to hang here tonight.
Patterson outside for three. Little too strong. Anderson clears the rebound and drops it to Epps. Right back to Anderson. His triple's too strong as well. And Collier will pull it off the backside.
They wanted a walk-in violation on Collier. Guyton's a good penetrator, too. He can handle the ball really well.
They're going to call a foul on Derek Anderson.
We look at Tommy O'Neill. He says, no, this is my home turf. Hey, the three referees, you ready for this? Flaherty, O'Neill, and Rucker have 14 Final Fours between them.
You got to have those kind of guys with a coach like that and a coach like Pitino on the other side. Timeout, 15:35 to go, and it's Kentucky early by 8.
Steve Levy back in our college basketball studios. BC and UConn. And Gamble and Richie Hamilton connects from 3. And UConn wins 61-54. Brad and Dick.
Thanks, Steve. Here early, Kentucky, 11-3. Derek Anderson off to a tremendous start, as is Ron Mercer. There's their season numbers.
You know, Brad, you mentioned a little bit earlier, as we look at the numbers, I call them thunder and lightning. Thunder for Mercer and lightning for Anderson. About the three guards. I think a kid, I agree with you, is going to have to play a prominent role here tonight, is the 6'6" Charlie Miller, who really has struggled early this season. Had an injury and has never really recovered, but I think he's going to have to be a factor.
Part of the reason Anderson's off to the strong start, he's been able to post up Lewis down low. And maybe they need a bigger lineup. Right now, he stays in there. But here's Mandeville, who just checked in, and he misses his first shot.
Nice cut by Mandeville, but you got to convert those.
Wayne Turner now at the point will run the show. Edwards is also in for Kentucky, and he's down on the baseline.
He's been so versatile coming off the bench. He's been a positive performer. I love Turner. I think Turner can be a great player.
He goes up with it. Magloire, strong offensive rebound. Tip goes in. Anderson got it.
Those are those quick legs, the quick jumping ability. Anderson so versatile, inside, outside. Here's the pressure. Got to post up to it.
Eric's got 9 already. The lead is swelled to 10. Steal by Turner. And a foul. Chance for a three-point play for Edwards.
They are so deep. They bring up guys like Turner off the bench, Edwards off the bench. Edwards comes from a great basketball family. His brother plays in the pros, Doug Edwards. His other brother starred down at Miami. We're going to watch right now to kick out by Turner. An excellent pass, and there's Edwards going to complete the play with that explosive drive on a baseline. There's a little bump. They got sitting now Scott Padgett. That kid is half as good as the way Rick Pitino has described his ability to me. I'm going to tell you something. They'll be special. He becomes eligible against our buddy Bobby Cremins on December 21st.
On ESPN, you'll see that game.
6'9". Could shoot the ball, handle it, rebound. Academically, he's been out. Now, all of a sudden, he's a 3.2 student. That's how he's all of a sudden got the message.
Hey, you get out there and get those 2 landscaping jobs and realize you hit the books. Maybe you can play some hoops. 14 and a half minutes to go first half. It's a 12-point lead, much like last year. Last year, 17-14. Now it's 15-13 to start this one. So it's a carbon copy. But remember, last year, Indiana battled back to within 3 at halftime.
The one thing that Rick Pitino today was telling me, praising Bob Knight, he says his players have a great understanding of their strengths and weaknesses, that the right people usually shoot the ball. The last 3 possessions, we have not seen that. Right. The wrong guys right now, when they're struggling to get back, are taking the shots that I'm sure Pitino really, really likes. Patterson just come back on the floor.
And Mercer likewise for Kentucky. Patterson's only really touched it about twice for the Indiana offense. There he is.
Yeah, once drifting on a perimeter from Abilene, Texas. His mom and dad were so excited about his performance last week. I got a call from Coach Harp down there in Abilene. And so we sat there and just really, really loved every moment of that game against Duke. I don't blame him. 39.
Yeah, he was something else.
Mike Krzyzewski, I don't think really appreciated that performance.
He said that's the best anybody's played against Duke in a long time. Collier outside.
What a nice touch. Came out of Capital Central, Springfield, Ohio, was Mr. Basketball. You could see some of his great skills. It's an excellent touch for a big player.
Turner got a nice pick from Magloire. Goes right back to him. Nice move to the basket by Magloire. He's getting better and better every week.
You know what I like about him right now, Brad? He's much
more active. He's not just standing around. He's becoming a factor. He's from out of Canada. We met his high school coach today, Simeon Lars.
Jamal will go to the free throw line. 6'10" freshman. Had his first double-double in the Great Alaska Shootout against Alaska Anchorage, and then came back against Syracuse at 16 points. That's his career high so far. There's his numbers on the season.
I promised not to tell us. I promised Jimmy Boeheim we wouldn't say that was the worst beating Jimmy Boeheim ever suffered up in Syracuse.
And you just did it anyway.
By 33. Did I do that? We're on a year right now. Oh, Jimmy, I'm sorry. 87-54. They got blitzed by his buddy Patino, who he hired on Patino's wedding night.
That's right.
On his wedding night, he hired him up there at Syracuse.
Magloire got both free throws. Again, it's a 12-point lead. Turner knocks it off Collier, but out of bounds to Indiana.
He was trying to go down the sideline against the trap. Turner's a kid, came in with a great reputation, was one of the top 10 high school players in America, and he's really had moments, but he has not been able to string them together for a long period of time, but you just know it's going to happen.
A.J. Guyton, the freshman, takes it all the way on the baseline and leaves it out for Patterson, who's alone. Good move by the freshman, knowing he was triple teamed. That'd be somebody open.
That's their 1-2 punch right there. Guyton and Patterson, next year, they really would experience could be a dynamite duo.
Turner, nice scoop pass into Prickett, and he missed it in close. Patterson will clear it.
This kid's going to be a special player in Indiana. I don't mean just another good guard. He's going to be one of their special ones. Remember, he's only a freshman.
Whistle. Foul, I believe, on Edwards underneath. First time, Allen.
Kentucky has a lot of those 6'5", 6'6" guys who are very athletic. And I used to love that when I coached.
Play a couple different positions.
Oh, when I loved that when I was at the University of Detroit with kids like John Long. I call him a kid. He's 40 years old. And Isaiah just signed him up with the Toronto Raptors. He's still making money. I'm proud of my guy. I used to call Tyler and Long Thunder and Lightning.
And Reed has to take a timeout. Yelling at his teammates, you got to move. We're running out of time on the baseline. So
one of the 22nd timeouts.
Quick timeout gives us a chance to remind you we've got another game coming up after us. It'll be Nolan Richardson's Hogs, number 22 Arkansas, led by their backcourt, Kareem Reed and Pat Bradley. Missouri, Jason Sutherland led the Big 8 in three-point shooting a year ago. Arkansas and Mizzou, Tigers and the Razorbacks. 9 o'clock following our matchup here in Louisville.
Two big-time coaches going head-to-head there with Nolan Richardson and Norm Stewart. Norm Stewart's legacy will be certainly told with his battle against cancer, and his campaign that he has, Coaches Against Cancer, is just fantastic. And we salute Norman for his courageousness that he's demonstrated.
Two guys here with a lot of respect for each other, Bob Knight and Rick Pitino.
They really do. They were really singing each other's praises today to us.
I know you had an interesting conversation with Coach Knight right before the game about Rick Pitino.
Yeah, 45 minutes we sat there talking about Pitino, and he was telling me a lot of things, why he respects him and why he really admires his coaching ability. He said, number one, to get kids to play at the pace they play and to understand their roles and utilize that full court pressure, that's special. And number two, he says, to get that kind of talent to understand and not to play a lot of minutes is unbelievable. This is a guy playing the both of them. Delray Brooks, he was Mr. Basketball in Indiana. You interviewed him today.
Yep. And he had quite a smile on his face. I said to him, so if you weren't coaching tonight, Delray, would you pay money just to watch these two guys coach? He said, no, I'd call Coach Pitino and get free tickets.
Why didn't you call the general? He'll give him some tickets.
I guess Rick would have been the guy he'd call.
Bobby told me today, he said Delray's a great kid and would be a real positive guy in coaching.
Nice crossover dribble. Patterson had it stripped by Turner as he went up, and it's another Indiana turnover.
Here they come. Look at these two guys running together. Mercer. Look at these two guys. Oh, you got to love that dynamic duo. Yes, they're going to electrify it this year at Rupp.
19-7 again, a 12-point lead.
Nothing like speed, quickness.
Indiana walks with it, and the pressure on the freshman to bring it up against that full court defensive effort of Kentucky is starting to show a little bit.
I'll tell you, everybody's got to participate in attacking that pressure. You can't do it one way. Everybody's got to share, got to move the basketball, you got to cut, and you got to attack. In fact, Bob Knight said he changed his philosophy from years ago where just bringing the ball down and then getting through offensive sets. He said, you got to make people pay when they try to trap and pressure. You got to score.
Ghazi Muhammad in now. Anderson got Collier up in the air and will take it from the free throw line and buried it.
I'll tell you, he's playing today. You can just feel that he's got that special bounce, that starstruck.
Didn't really have it against Purdue the other night, but he's already almost matched what he did in that one. He's got 11 already here, and we have 12:23 to go in the first half.
You know, a Purdue victory, when you think about it, they win by 14, and they shoot 1 for 9 from three-point range, and don't really play that well because Purdue play well. That's an impressive win.
Reed threw it away again. A ton of turnovers early against Indiana, and they're down 14.
Kentucky looks so quick tonight, Brad.
Mercer, 3, rimmed out on it. Got his own rebound. He keeps it alive.
Mr. Basketball USA today coming out of high school. I'll tell you, they're on fire. They are really on fire. They're mentally psyched, and you can see that bounce. They look like they are alive.
Listen to the Kentucky faithful.
And the big blue fans stand up and let out a cheer.
Reed leans in. Cricket with a foul.
It's been a Derek Anderson show early. You're going to watch Derek right here with a little fake. He gets Collier up in the air. Now he's going to go up, rise, square the body, get the finger roll. Nice touch. Just like Steve Levy has in that studio. That nice touch. He's another one of those good-looking young guys. Nice floppy hair. I mean, you're threaded out today, though. I mean, I'll tell you, that's unbelievable. Your wife, Nancy, must have dressed you.
Yeah, that's right.
Great vest. I mean, unreal.
I just made sure I wore green. I didn't want to wear red or blue tonight. I wanted to get out of here alive.
And I come strutting in with red.
Yep.
I heard it from the moment I walked in.
I got the pocket hanky out of there on you, though. You're safe now.
They were all over me. Did the general dress you up tonight? Did the general dress you up?
Reed with 3, but IU doesn't have much to show for it. Trailing 24-8. Kentucky by 16. Derek Anderson has 11 of those. Rick Pitino talks about what makes him so special.
Derek Anderson gets to the foul line. He has a high number of assists. He's a big steal person. He's also very quick defensively, and he does the most things.
That's why he's averaging better than 20 points a game. We're seeing him right now with that head fake, the little jump shot to show he can play on the perimeter. And he also could go down in the blocks inside, and he can really play with the big people. He's an excellent offensive rebounder as well, as we're watching him right here with the left-hand tip from out of Doss High School in Louisville, Kentucky. Went to Ohio State, averaging 20 points a game right now with the Cats.
Coach Pitino said to us today, regardless of how many points Ron Mercer might put up, day in and day out, practice in, practice out, game in and game out, everybody knows who the best player on this team is, and it's Derek Anderson.
Ghazi Muhammad with that nice tip, lost 60 pounds. Indiana, it's a nightmare trying to attack the pressure tonight.
Anderson missed that one off the turnover. The foul underneath as Muhammad got the rebound.
Usually Indiana has had success against the pressure of Kentucky. Tonight they're really struggling against that pressure. In fact, in the 7 years that they've played head-to-head, Pitino versus Knight, only 3 points separate them. 3 points. Look at the storyline right now. Wow, 9 turnovers forced, leading to 15 points. And just look at Indiana. Well, Indiana's not going to trap and force a lot of turnovers and get points off of turnovers.
That foul was on Miller.
That's not their style.
18 down.
Exactly what he did not want in his game plan to happen.
And we're just under 11 minutes first half. Brad Nussbaum to Vitale. Freedom Hall, Louisville. Anderson outside. He's been hot so far. That one off the mark. He got tangled up a little bit with Charlie Miller, who's on the break the other way. Miller had it blocked by Muhammad.
I'll tell you, Muhammad has become such a positive. Give it back to Anderson. Give it back. And they missed him.
Back outside they come. He'll take the baseline jumper.
I'll tell you, he's a PTP today, and I'm only going to utilize that for special players. He's a primetime performer, Derek Anderson.
21-point Kentucky lead.
And he's done it in so many different ways. Inside, outside, he's inverted as a player from the baseline to the perimeter.
Mercer makes his first and the team's.
We're going to watch the catch by Miller now. Miller's now going to try to spin in a baseline. Now here comes Muhammad. Look at the hustle. He lost 60 pounds.
So far, not Bob's night. 20 29-8. His team down. And have been able to get nothing going offensively, and they've got 9 turnovers. Nice hook shot.
You don't see that. You don't see that.
I like that.
Yeah, I do too. You don't see big people doing that. That was back in my era with George Mikan.
I was going to say, it looked like Mikan with that big sweeping.
You don't remember Mikan. Now, you're a baby. You don't remember
he was a Minneapolis Laker when I was little lad. Here's a break, not a Kentucky turnover. Jimenez gives off to Collier.
There's Collier. Nice little two-man play right there. They got to play this game now in segments. Right now, you got to take this game in a segment and play it in a segment. 5 minutes at a time and try to creep and get a couple of spurts.
Great point, Dick. And a steal again. 2-on-1.
Patterson's got to assert himself.
Oh, he lost the handle. Off his own knee, too.
Andre's got to step it up in the big-time games. He has so many young people around him that look for him to be their star. See, you can drift a little bit against teams that aren't as talented as Kentucky. Evansville, Notre Dame, and come back. But you spot a club like this is tough to come back because this team has got talent galore.
Trying to strip it away from Turner from behind. Nice job by Guyton, and he does come up with a loose ball.
The last 4 possessions, Kentucky's been really sloppy, but they got to make them pay.
Let's see if they can convert on the other end.
A lot of help defensively.
Collier has the last 2 Hoosier baskets. Patterson is yet to get off. Got 1 field goal.
They communicate really well on the screens, Kentucky.
Jared Prickett and Nazir Muhammad cut off Patterson at the pass. And the foul's on Prickett.
Always teaching, always working that sideline relentlessly, just constantly working. I mean, absolutely loves coaching. Bob Knight loves practice, absolutely loves practice, and so does Pitino. They're both great game preparers.
Talked to Rick today about games like this, and you said to him, does this get you more nervous to play a game this big? He goes, no, quite frankly, these are the kind I get psyched about.
It's when you're a heavy favorite, when there's that expectations that creates a lot of problems. I'll tell you what Bobby was talking about today. He said, you know what? I should have been a football coach. As we like Andre Patterson right here, 24.3. He was watching that Army-Navy game. And then we talked about that 4th and 1 with Texas and Nebraska.
How about that?
Makovic made the play. I think Bob Knight would have been a great football coach. He really fits the mold of a football taskmaster.
He went to Ohio State. He could have followed Woody.
Well, there's a lot of similarities, people will tell you.
Not kidding. 29-14. Under 9 minutes, first half. Mercer trying to get position down low. Here he comes, backing in. Came out on him. Collier will clear it.
Indiana's got to try to get some people free, maybe knock down the 3.
Throw it away. Turner on the break.
This is the worst I have seen Guyton play thus far this year. He's had such a brilliant start to his career.
Patterson double team. Boy, Kentucky swarming on defense. Jimenez three-pointer. Up, hit the top of the backboard. Comes out to Edwards.
Young people are going to be up and down. I think you're going to see Indiana have moments this year.
And Edwards double dribble.
Kentucky has some young players, but they got a lot of experience too. When you look at Mercer and Anderson, guys like Epps and Turner, and certainly you talk about Edwards.
Coming up on Monday on ESPN2. Start things off with Tulane and Temple, 7 o'clock. Gerald Honeycutt, if you haven't seen him for Tulane, he's fun to watch, but Perry Clark's off to a tough start.
And Mark Jackson outstanding for Temple. They blew away today, blew away Georgia Tech.
Bobby Cremins knew he was in for a battle in Atlantic City in that one. And another timeout as again the trapping defense of Kentucky forces a near 5-second call.
He has become a big-time star in terms of recognition now, Patterson. What that means is he's going to attract a lot of attention in scouting reports, and he has to step it up. The bottom line is when you become a star, like they had Calvert Cheney years ago, those guys knew they were going to expect all kinds of double teams, and yet they were able to respond to that. That's what Andre has to learn yet, how to be a star.
Speaking of past Indiana stars, I want to wish well to Alan Henderson, recovering from some problems, physical problems that have kept him out of the Atlanta Hawks lineup. I know he's lost a bunch of weight, and he's been at the Mayo Clinic a good chunk of I'm sure he's watching tonight.
What a great kid Alan is. Comes from a beautiful family. I spent some time with his mom and dad this summer. at the tennis championships in Indianapolis. Great family.
Baseline, Miller goes up strong. Patterson got a rebound, and it goes.
See, that was a big-time play right there. His club needed it. He worked on the glass. He was in traffic, and he made the big play. And that's what a star player has to do. Your club is on the ropes. You got to come up with big plays.
Ahmed, the guy that Pitino was talking about, picked up the foul.
There he is right now. He needs this right here. He's got to be aggressive, got to be a little bit more assertive. And there's some emotion. Number 45, Andre Patterson.
They need some of that fire, and they need the free throw, and they got it. Patterson completes the three-point play. Now they're trying to creep back into it, trailing by 14 with 7:38 to go first half. 31-17 Kentucky with 7:38 left first half. A lot of Kentucky pressure defensively tonight, which we expected, and it's helped pay off.
Hey, Brad, they're one of the few teams in America that initially started charting deflections. 16 deflections means you're playing aggressive basketball, and the points off their turnovers is 17. Rick Pitino learned the art of deflections and charting those from UB Brown when he was an assistant coach to UB Brown with the Knickerbockers, who is a masterful teacher.
UB never missed a trick. Still doesn't as an analyst.
Great place to learn under somebody with a mind like UB Brown, and that's what Rick Pitino did.
Indiana forced a few Kentucky turnovers now. Let's see if they turn them into points. Patterson got his own rebound.
Good hustle right there by Patterson, but does come up empty, but at least he made the effort.
Muhammad knocked it away from him. Turner comes back the other way. Allen Edwards three. Got it.
They just have that special bounce tonight. You can just feel almost all their players have what I call live legs. We didn't see that kind of bounce against Purdue.
You know, they've been on such an unbelievable road trip, Dick. I think that might have something to do with it.
Well,
they have traveled almost 10,000 miles over the course of the last week and a half or so.
Same thing with Kansas. What an unbelievable schedule they've had.
Yeah.
What a message they're sending to America, what they did this week with Cincinnati and UCLA.
No kidding. Steve Rigby about all those scores for you coming up at halftime. Steve will bring you up to date on that one, the Louisville game today, the Temple Georgia Tech matchup.
Look at this. Look at these two guys on the wings. Look at the two guys on the wings. He could have went either way. He says, no, Ron, I'm in the home of Derek Anderson, so I'm going to give it to Anderson, Turner said.
16 for Anderson.
He could have went either way. He had a surefire assist. I could have made that pass and got an assist.
There's a block shot by Edwards.
This is what they want. They want tempo this way. They want this speed.
Mercer.
They want this speed.
And Anderson will try it again.
They want to play like they're lined up in the starting gates at the Indianapolis Raceway. They don't want to be at Times Square now. They want to be at the Indianapolis Raceway. I think they're in Churchill Downs out here in Louisville.
They
think they're out here in the Derby.
Yeah.
Run, baby, run. Look at it right here. Look at Turner. He said, I could go either way. That was Edward Travis. I could go either way. There's Mercer. We're going to watch Anderson draw the contact, a little hang time.
Now they got a huge lead in the backstretch. It's 36-17.
Notice the numbers they wear. Notice the numbers. I think they like two guys, Mercer and Mr. Anderson. Number 23. Anybody know that number? Oh, for a player named Michael. And then you look at Mr. Scottie Pippen's number on Ron Mercer.
Anderson was just having a whale in the first half.
He was crushed when he couldn't use Michael Jordan's locker room when they were over practicing.
Put a piece of tape over that baby. Out of respect.
Nobody can use it. Nice pass.
Miller on a break, and Muhammad's going to make him earn it.
Nice diagonal cut. I think this kid Miller is going to be a kid that's going to blossom eventually for Indiana. He has to really step up and score. As we look at these two, 24 between them. I mean, not only 24 points, but so active and so aggressive.
Both of them possibly could end up being 20-point per game scorers as the course goes along of the year. And in the last 20 years, only two guys have averaged over 20 a game for Kentucky. Kenny Walker back in '85, and then Jamal Mashburn did it a couple of years in a row in the early '90s.
See, Mashburn did it because they were limited with the personnel around Mashburn. But now with their great balance, it's so difficult to score. Except now, these guys are going to get 30 minutes a night as opposed to last year with the four guys that were drafted by the NBA. Delp, certainly Antoine Walker.
Anderson is just lighting it up.
He's having one of those special nights. He's having one of those special nights. Derek, ooh.
Collier with a rebound. Muhammad with a cheap foul over the back, and that puts Nazi in some foul trouble at halftime.
And the 4 people, they lost Tony Delp to Charlotte. They lost Antoine Walker over with the Celtics. Mark Pope went over to play in Turkey. And Walter McCarty's now playing with the Knicks.
This guy, Rick Pitino, says is one of the 3 best college players he's ever coached. And the aforementioned Mashburn is, of course, another one.
That's a hell of an adjective. There's no doubt about it. When Rick Pitino says that about you, you know that's special.
He's got 21 points, and we still have almost 6 minutes to go till halftime.
And he's doing it at a special place here in Louisville, where he's from. You think he needed a few tickets tonight?
Wow.
Rick's got to really be pleased with their effort tonight. Their pressure has been really tenacious. They're converting. I said the only game I looked at that schedule, I can't see them being really threatened until they run into possibly when they get over to play Arkansas at Arkansas. And talent-wise right now, I mean, they're head and shoulders better than Arkansas, but down there on the road, and Dolan's got some good quality players to create some problems.
Well, that's kept alive by Patterson. That's going to have to be full timeout, isn't it?
Indiana.
Kentucky should really dominate the SEC. Alabama's starting off really well. Had a big win over Minnesota the other day. Eric Washington knocked one down with 5 seconds to go. Big Ten is wide open. Bob Knight told me today, watch out for Minnesota.
Clem Haskins got a heck of a team right now. Derek Anderson, 21 on the half, and he's done it from a lot of different spots.
Yeah, that's what really makes him special, as you see the different scores by Mr. Anderson. 7 of 12 from the field, showing the different areas from the floor where he's shooting the basketball. What I like about him is you can invert him. You can play him both on the baseline. You can play him on a perimeter. He can run the court in transition and get a lot of easy baskets. I love teams that can get easy baskets and don't have to really work so hard. Look at this right here. Oh, she loves Pitino. That's a Pitino lady.
And the K is silent there on the night, so it made sense. P in the end.
Silent.
I don't think he's going to be silent at halftime, I don't think.
Want to hear me sing?
No, that's enough. Anderson pulls up. Muhammad tried to follow with a slam, and it's out of bounds to Indiana.
I'll tell you, he missed that slam. But I'm going to tell you, that's not the same kid I saw last year.
No.
Nazr Muhammad has become really a player that can contribute and give him some positive minutes at 6'11".
And now full court heat again from the Wildcats, who are up by 22.
They start pressing you as soon as you get off the bus. I mean, they're coming after you as soon as you step off the bus.
And they strip it away.
Right back, little give and go. Simplest play in basketball. I give it to you, I cut without it, you give it back, and I get a layup.
24-point lead, biggest of the night. Indiana needs a bunch of offense in a hurry. Nice pass inside. Collier had it blocked by Muhammad.
Had a good post position.
Anderson comes down 3-on-1. Trying to give it back to Muhammad. I think had he not had 23 points already, he probably should have taken that in himself.
Yeah, he should have. He should have jammed it. He said, I'll be one of the guys who'll give it up. The General has a great chance this year to reach an unbelievable mark of 700 wins. He only needs 16 more. And the 700 mark. And as young as he is on that sideline, I mean, he's got another good 10 years to coach. He could put a lot of numbers.
Allen Edwards.
I mean, when they're knocking down the threes, when we saw them against Purdue, they gave up 10 threes. They didn't defend the three-point line. They were 1 for 9 from the three-point line. And yet they still win by 14.
They got their legs back. I'll give them that much.
We have a substitution for Indiana.
Yeah, they won that game 101-87 the other night over a pesky bunch from Purdue.
Who's going to get better and better as the season progresses. Gene Katie's got some good young kids.
Eggers comes in, and Patterson will get a breather.
They're zoning right now. They come out of the man-to-man, playing zone 2-3. Indiana really struggling offensively against any kind of alignment.
Turner pulls up. And Collier strong for the rebound. Nobody around him.
He's shown some good moments here today. He really has. Guard play's been really sloppy by Indiana tonight, but the big guy really has made some good.
Here he is.
Nice little move right there, Jason Collier.
And a chance for a three-point play. Collier's got 10. He can make it 11.
Nice move by Collier down the lane, and we're watching a 7-footer. Now with his choices down to Georgia Tech, Duke, and Indiana before deciding to play for the General.
Broke Bobby Kremen's heart because his dad played at Georgia Tech.
His grandmother, I read an article in Sports Illustrated, was very concerned about him deciding to go to Indiana. She said to Coach Knight during the recruiting process, wait a minute now, what about tickets? You sell out all your games. She says, you think you're going to have to worry about tickets?
Put you on the bench next to me if it takes that, Grandma.
He's coaching Michael Lewis. He knows they're young kids. He loves coaching these young kids. He's repeated that to me so many times. And they're going to be up and down. I mean, who would have ever thought they're 6-0 right now with this young player?
Mercer outside. Just inside the three-point line for Ron Mercer. He's got 8.
He's become a man. He has really become a man as a basketball player. And his confidence really started with that performance against Syracuse in the national title.
Guyton had a look. He has yet to score. Nice turn on the baseline by Eggers, but he didn't get it to drop. Kentucky with a huge lead, 3:15 to go first half.
They're able to do anything they want offensively, get the shots they want.
Mercer got another one.
I'll tell you, Mercer, Anderson. I mean, it doesn't get better in college hoops on the wings than that tandem.
Now faithful in blue come to their feet again. It's a 29-point Kentucky lead.
I can't believe this is the team I saw play against Clemson and lose that game. There, not to take anything away from Clemson, but this is a totally different basketball team.
Well, Rick Pitino said to us today, we just weren't ready to play in that one. We weren't ready. It was too early in the season.
Clemson really played well in that game. Buckner in that game. Jamison and Rick Barnes had them prepared against the pressure and did really well. I think Kentucky would love a rematch opportunity. Bob talking to Norm Ellenberger to his left, on the coach at New Mexico. He's been through a lot of games in his career. So many a moment today talking about coaching Mike Krzyzewski.
Kentucky only had 1 3-pointer against Purdue the other night. They got 7 in the first half.
They were 1 for 9.
Yeah.
And they really stressing their system how to defend the 3. And Rick was really upset with the fact that Purdue went 10 for 17 and that they did not defend the 3 as he looked at Reed sitting on the sideline.
Collier's been the only offense for Indiana so far. The freshman got 1 of 2 the line. 51-23. Edwards glide.
Oh! Slide, glide, slam, jam. Up and away. They're off to the races. Secretariat running wild in Louisville.
It's up to 30. Kentucky 14 points off its bench, and they lead 53-23. Stripped by Edwards.
Getting ugly out here. Getting ugly, Brad. Getting ugly. It's showtime, Kentucky style.
Baseline jumper is short this time by Anderson. Outside the 3, there go.
A.J. Guyton.
First time he's scored tonight, and it's a 3-pointer. With 2 minutes, 4 seconds remaining in the first half.
He's been such a positive player for Indiana. Had that big win over Duke. They're 6-0. They've beaten some good quality competition. And Guyton's played such a key role in their success early. Averaging 14 points a game.
First it was Anderson who was on fire early, and now Mercer has started to take over. He's hit 2 of their last 3 baskets, including this 3-pointer. And then if you want another guy in double figures, how about Allen Edwards?
I'm going to watch Edwards right now on the baseline. Look at him up and away. Came a time when he was thinking about transfer. Yeah. Was unhappy about playing time. Rick Pitino said, be patient. You're going to get your chance to play. And he has it now. Rotates there with their wing players. 4 for 4 from the field. Plus, he's got that championship ring. Not a lot of people can put that ring on your finger.
Things are pretty nice looking, too. Mercer gets a breather. We're at the 2-minute mark, first half. Epps around a pick. This time jump, but still Guyton comes out of there for Indiana with a rebound.
So athletic. We talk about athleticism. We talk about quickness, lateral speed, jumping ability. Kentucky has a lot of players that have those qualities.
Nice left-hand hook again.
He's got a nice touch. He's going to become a big-time inside player.
That's a new career high already for Collier here in the first half alone. He's got 14.
Well, there's a positive you can take. There'll be some positives you can take from the performance out here.
Epps, nice bounce pass to Muhammad, and he one-hopped it underneath the backboard.
Muhammad really was helped last year by a rare thing. Many colleges do not have a JV program. Rick Pitino started a JV program because he had so many players, and they really gave a chance to kids like Muhammad to play and get some really, really good playing time.
1:22 left, first half. Kentucky by 25 with 1:22 left. It's been Derek Anderson and Ron Mercer tonight. They've got 33 between them, 34 rather between them. Maybe they're both on their way to a 20-point night. We talked about it's been over 20 years. Only 2 guys averaged over 20. When's the last time, Dick, Kentucky had 2 players average over 20 in the same season?
Oh, trivia again. You got me now. I'm not a trivia buff here. You nailed me the other day with the Vic Bubas answer down there. Wow.
Well, you got 122 to work on.
They got 2 guys that average 20 a game together, huh?
Yeah.
Wow.
Kentucky with Anderson, Epps, Edwards, Turner, and Muhammad, who's got it down on a low block. Nice little hook.
I'll tell you, is he getting better and better? You watch his development, and it's really interesting to see a kid that couldn't contribute at all last year, and now he's become a factor to their baseline. Hey, was it during the era of our buddy Larry Conley?
You are correct, sir. Now, what can you do with it, though? That's the question. Can you take it to the next level, Mr. Vitale?
But it wasn't Conley and it wasn't Riley. I know that. They were on a team.
You're close, though. You're close. Here's Collier. And rebound comes into Miller, and he's got a chance for a three-point play.
Charlie Miller working the glass.
Steve Levy's coming up in about 39 seconds. Steve will have the Delta Plus at halftime report. A look back at Arizona's upset of Utah. Nebraska's stunt, the Army-Navy game as well.
Tell you, a great win for Arizona coming from behind against Rick Majerus' club. They shut down Van Horn in the second half. What really makes that win special, they beat Carolina and they beat Utah, and they've done it without Simon.
Yep.
One of their leading scorers not there. Will be there second semester.
Muhammad has to sit with 4 fouls, so he's done a nice job off the bench, except staying out of foul trouble.
Well, you know, Conley, Riley, and that gang guy. Dampier, one of them?
Oh, there you go. We'll give it to you. And who's the other? You already said it, but
Riley.
Right. Matt Riley and Louis Dampier in 1966. Riley averaged 22. Dampier averaged 21.
You know what? Everybody thinks you gave me the answer. I'm telling you now, he did not give me the answer.
Dick got that one fair and square, folks. We're under 20 seconds. And there are trivia questions of the night here on the Vitale and Nessler stand-up comedy show.
Hey, if you had to rate that performance right now in the first half,
it's as good as I've seen.
Offensively and defensively, got even A+.
Oh, man.
Professor, you got to lay an A+ on it. You got to lay an A+, no doubt about it. Rick Pitino's got to
steal at the end, but they don't get the basket.
He's got to go in with an A+. And I'll guarantee you, people who expect Bob Knight to be explosive at halftime, forget about it. Here's the star of stars from Louisville himself.
I'd say he's got a 4.0 GPA working on that A+ at halftime. 23 for Anderson. Bob Knight goes to the locker room trailing by 24. And now the Delta Plus at halftime report. Hey, let's go back to Steve.
And then I'll show them. Hey, Tim, I'm
back at halftime. Freedom Hall in Louisville. 55-31 right now. The defending national champion Kentucky Wildcats in command. Brad Nessler and Dick Vitale back with you. They're not playing like the defending champions. They're playing like a team that wants another ring.
I'll tell you what, another one of these, baby. This right here is the national championship ring, and they want one of these. They want to be able to get another one and repeat like Duke did in 91 and 92. And I'll tell you, if they play like they do here, they got a great chance again. They're getting better and better. And when they get Scott Padgett added to this club, what firepower.
Derek Anderson a little bit off against Purdue the other night. He's on fire tonight.
Oh, he's on fire, and he's very active. He's running, jumping, scoring, inside, outside. We see him off the screen now, knocked down a 3. I'm going to see with a little ball fake. There's the fake, the head fake, ball fake. He gets Collier up in the air, and then he squares his body and knocks it down. Then he's going to show his great versatility as he's going to go right inside. He said, you can't check me down here, Reed. I'll just post you inside. And there he is, posting him, taking him to the base. I tell you, what a brilliant, brilliant performance.
Look at that, 7 out of 12 on the three-pointers, and the points off turnovers 24. And another stat that's amazing, Mercer and Anderson, between them, they have 34 points. And you throw in the 4 assists they have. Basically, they've accounted for 42 of Kentucky's 55 points. Meanwhile, on the other side, Coach Knight is getting quite a bit out of his big man, the freshman. 14 points, a career high already for Jason Collier. but the rest of the team has only 17.
Well, I'll tell you, talking to some of the media people at halftime here, people that really know this Kentucky basketball program, Billy Reed, who writes for Sports Illustrated, Rick Bosich, a local columnist, they said they really feel that this Kentucky team presses better than last year's team. Not that they're a better team than last year's team, but they're pressured defensively. They're so quick and so active with the press.
Rick Pitino told us today that he didn't think last year's team was one of the greatest of all time, but he thought it was one of the greatest defensive teams in college basketball in a long time. So if they're a notch above that or capable of being a notch above that this year, look out again. Maybe they'll run another 27 in a row.
I'll tell you, very possible now watching them play that they can, especially with the basketball that's out there right now. The level of play in most programs is not at the level of Kentucky.
Got to think that Indiana's going to make a run in this thing in this half, though.
I think Indiana right now has got to play the 10-minute mark. Their game has got to be a 10-minute mark. Can we get it to 10? Can we get this 24-point deficit down by 14, get it to 10, and then make a run in the last 10 minutes?
Got to get Patterson involved in the offense.
They're doing a great job on Patterson, starting out with Prickett playing him, got a walk-in violation.
20th turnover. They came in averaging almost 16 a game, but to have 19 in the first half and now in their first possession, turn it over again. Yikes.
Especially against a club like Kentucky who can take that turnover and convert so quickly. And a lot of times when they convert, it's their momentum builders because it's usually a jam or it's a layup and the crowd gets into it.
And they're a mile high as if they need that help. They almost turned it over themselves there. Mercer around a pick on the baseline. Tip. McGlory got a hand on it.
Take a look right here. Deflections, 27. That means you're being so aggressive. You're blocking shots. Turnovers that you're forcing the points off the turnovers. I think anytime you're deflecting the ball, you're blocking shots, you're getting charges, you are really playing aggressive basketball.
Epps. Jumper won't go. Underneath. Somehow Mercer found some room in there.
I'll tell you what Mercer and Anderson bring to the table also is that they play much bigger than their size because of their great lift, their great bounce off the floor.
And Mercer hustling on defense, slides out in front of the scorer's table. It's a 26-point advantage right now.
Bob certainly won't make any excuses. He's not that kind of guy, but he was telling me, he said, I got a lot of players on this club that have really been struggling physically as well, flu symptoms, etc. And I guarantee he will not utilize that at a press conference if they do not come back and make a run here or win this game.
Collier outside. Patterson, strong offensive rebound if he can find the handle. And knocked away from him.
I tell you, they speak so highly of Andre back where he's from in Abilene. Coach Hart. Martin Simmons speaks so highly of Mr. Patterson.
Here he is on the inbound.
As a youngster, went to the Bob Knight basketball camp. That's how he got familiar with Bloomington, Indiana.
Reed cut off with the pass by Mercer.
Yeah, Reed's been quiet. Went to the sideline. He's been a big point producer on the bait from the perimeter.
Only has 3 points.
Not getting many looks here tonight against this Kentucky defense.
Guyton flies in off the glass.
I love the way he hangs in the air, he glides. He has to really improve defensively. He's got to be a better defensive player to really go to that next notch, knowing how to play the basketball and play off the ball.
Down on the baseline, nowhere to go for McGlory, trying a left-handed hook, and going to have a foul underneath. You can see over 500 men's college basketball games you otherwise wouldn't see in your area with ESPN Full Court Pay-Per-View. Only $69 for the season. Call your cable operator or DirecTV.
Wow, it went up to 500. It was $450. It's over 500. I got to get a new package. I want the 500 game.
You realize they gave you 50 more games just to do that? Guyton outside.
A.J. Guyton knocking another one down. They're going to play that clock right now. Try to get down to that 10-minute mark and get it to 10.
Crowd's trying to help him. McGlory, a little hook on the inside, and Prickett keeps it alive. Here's Mercer all alone. Rebound Patterson. I know it sounds crazy, but Indiana can cut it to 19 if they score.
And that's big right now the way they
You're not kidding. Anything less than 20 sounds good. Guyton got his man in the air and got the roll.
I'll tell you, though, Diaper Dandy really stepping up, trying to carry it. Rick's going to get a 20-second timeout. Number 25 really has made several big-time offensive plays.
It may not be a run, but at least it's a jog. Indiana has narrowed it a little bit.
It's a Dick Vitale sprint. It's not a Michael Johnson sprint.
You do that running backwards thing, though.
You like that, huh?
Yeah, I like that.
Somebody running in the hallway.
A.J. Guyton.
What a great city. I was looking for a word during the last telecast. There he is from out of Peoria. Little head fake, and he gets the little roll. Per capita, they produce as many basketball players as anyone. Right now, Peoria Manual, 3 straight years winning the state championship. Tomorrow, I got Michigan and Duke game. Brandon Hughes is from out of Peoria Manual, the new player from junior college, playing for Michigan.
A.J.'s from the same high school as former Hoosier standout Chris Reynolds, right?
Defensive dynamo. There's a guy to teach how to play D.
Turner had that blocked partially, and it will remain Kentucky ball.
You watch Pitino on the sideline, you think he's down by 20.
I know.
You think he's down by 20.
You wonder if his voice is ever normal, except maybe by June or something like that. Then it's about time for basketball camp probably. Every time you talk to him from the screaming during the course of the game, he's got a permanent cold.
You got to be careful. He gets one of those polyps. Maybe like the president, have some trouble with the throat. But I'll tell you one thing, he gets better when he gets one of those speaking engagements.
Yeah.
Mega dollars. Cash register goes ding, ding, ding.
That's when yours gets crystal clear, too. Turner.
Oh, nice outlet.
Collier. Now it's Mills and Anderson.
Poor kid can't come up with a break. He can't get a score, Miller. He just cannot get a score to go down. That time he had the big lift. Big-time scorer in high school out of Miami, Florida. Here's a look at Miller. There's a kid there waiting for him. They're waiting and hoping somehow he could start to give him that athleticism. You need guys like him to neutralize the jumping and quickness of guys like Anderson and Mercer.
Charlie played guard much of last year.
Yeah, he's supposed to be in the comfort zone this year, Brad, by going out to the wing because he was not comfortable at the guard slot.
Still only 4 points tonight. 2 for 4 from the free throw line. Almost 4 minutes into the second half. And it remains a 19-point game.
It's tough to come back when you get a chance for a layup. You don't get that to go down. Then you miss the 2 free throws. That really makes it tough to get that lead to come on down. See, they're trying to post right now. They're trying to pick Anderson and post him against Reed. There's a switch. Now Miller will play him.
Miller better get him. He's all alone on the baseline. Now Mercer.
They got 3 really active guys with Edwards, Mercer, and Anderson. So athletic.
Epps look inside to Mercer.
So unselfish. Great eyes. Anthony Epps. When does anybody ever give him any kind of publicity, notoriety? He's going to get some scribes to bang out his name. Really is a kid that's so unselfish. He averaged about 7 assists and 1 turnover in the run last year, winning 6 in a row in their journey for that national title. Here's the great look. They're playing like 4 guards right now, Brad. They got like 4 guards on the floor. Mercer, Anderson, Epps, and certainly Edwards.
16 now for Mercer to go with Anderson's 23 and a nice pass by Epps, and they're up 22. They got a comfortable 22-point lead, but you want to talk about road trips. How about 11 days and almost 10,000 miles? Seattle, Anchorage, and then the Great 8 in Chicago, where Dick and I were, and they went 4-0 on that road trip after their opening season loss in overtime to Clemson. And you make that equivalent to an NBA trip. Actually, Antoine Walker's had it a lot easier in his NBA time.
Should have stayed in college. Should have stayed in college, Antoine. It would be easier.
He had a huge game in this series last year. And everybody contributing for Kentucky here in 96.
When I say Antoine would have been easier, not the travel, would have been easier, the competition.
That's right.
Struggling a little bit out there with Boston. He's a little bit up and down, which is expected from a rookie.
Kentucky has more wins than Celtics over that stretch of time, too. It's 2 free throws that Indiana missed a minute or so ago. Would have cut it down to 17. Now here they are trying to buy a field goal again and a block by Magloire.
Magloire with that good left hand, block on Patterson, trying to get that up and under move. Hey, Kentucky is sitting out. I watched them in practice today. Really looked good. Jeff Shepard. Jeff Shepard really played well in the practice session. He'll be there next year stepping in for Anderson. The reason he's sitting out, they knew he couldn't get a lot of playing time this year, and they're doing what they did with Prickett.
Let's
like bringing in a new recruit with experience.
Guy that knows the ropes completely. He'll be in there next year. Here's Anderson. Driving against Guyton. There's the leaper of Peachtree City, Georgia.
I love that name, Peachtree. Out there, Jeff, counting the days to when he can line up and start to play, get all the playing time. Sitting next to him is Oliver Simmons, out with a broken foot.
Yeah, Simmons should be back maybe after Christmas break or during Christmas break.
I was talking at the shoot-around today to Simmons and Masiello, and they were telling me about life in Kentucky as a basketball player. Steven Masiello, who's a kid who's a walk-on, he said, even me. He said, Mr. Vitale, when I walk in a restaurant, they find out I play for Kentucky, they go absolutely bananas. I mean, some of the people, and unfortunately, sometimes it gets a little too much, a little carried away. Even Rick has said that. He said, hey, get a life, people. Come on, it's not just Kentucky basketball. Let's look at Stevie. Hey, you might get in tonight, Stevie. He turned down scholarships to a number of schools, including Davidson, he told me, Vermont, and places he's been in, Niagara. But come here, he says, hey, why did I come here? Come here for the man, Rick.
Well, as we said in the open, when we were talking about everybody in this building either wearing red or blue, I guess you could mix Kansas in, but when you think about states in this country where you just say basketball, and these are two of them right here.
Yeah, you got to throw in Kansas. You're right about that, Brad. Up there in Lawrence, great basketball tradition.
Epps all alone, nails a three.
He can make the open shot. Nice pass by Anderson. Makes that extra pass. They love playing with each other. Look, another steal.
Edwards gave one up on the baseline and shouldn't have, and it's stripped away.
So active out of that press, constantly always going, attacking the basketball, giving, helping each other.
Well, the lead swells back to 26. A foul from behind on McGlory.
Certainly not happy tonight. General Robert Montgomery Knight. But I'll tell you one thing, he'll take this, and I guarantee DePaul could be in for a long night Tuesday. DePaul lost today to Northwestern. Poor Joey Meyer really playing with a short hand right now, as they just don't have the personnel to be able to compete with the big people. The game's in Chicago. It's at the United Center Tuesday night.
We're under 14 minutes in this one. Guyton kicks outside, and Miller. They can't buy a shot outside.
There's Prickett working the glass. Miller can't get the shot to fall. He just looks like a good potential scorer to me every time I see him, but the ball just doesn't want to go down.
Mercer nails the three.
I'll tell you, they got so many weapons, so many lethal weapons. They hit you from so many parts on the floor.
19 for Mercer, 24 for Anderson.
There's a steal by Mercer. Now they come together. Epps and Mercer.
Hello, yes sir, little clutch, little jam. Next like his hero, Scottie Pippen. It's Kentucky, baby, no doubt about it. They are invincible tonight.
31-point lead.
I hate to say it, Brad, I could dream all I want about a comeback. I don't think we're seeing any comeback tonight. I have to be very honest with you here.
Well, the only 31-point comeback I ever saw was Kentucky coming back, but that was against LSU.
They were knocking those threes, and Kentucky had the kind of pressure defense that can make that happen. Indiana doesn't have it with their personnel. The pressure that they can go out and play full court crap.
So I guess we've just admitted it, unless Indiana pulls off the biggest comeback in a long time.
Oh, I think you're going home with a W with Kentucky tonight. I think I got a better chance of growing here than them coming back and win. I really do. I really do. But I got no shot.
Yeah, if that's the case, then I'd say Indiana's soon to be 6-1.
Here's Mercer.
Boy.
That steal, the rise. I'll tell you, they're going to put a hurt on a lot of people, Thunder and Lightning. As you look at Mercer and Anderson tonight, 45 big ones between them. And have done it in so many different ways.
Inside, outside, off the break, in the half-court game.
Well, they're really attacking Patterson. Every time he gets the ball, he doesn't only have to beat his guys. The rotation coming over, attacking him. But Indiana's going to win a lot of basketball games this year. When they get in the Big Ten, you can guarantee it. And when they play in Bloomington, you talk about a place where they're tough to be beat. Right down in Bloomington, Indiana, Assembly Hall.
26 straight winning seasons for Coach Knight. Last year they went 19 and 12.
See, scoring margins are very, very different and unique when you talk about Kentucky. If they get into one of their grooves and they get going with that pressure and score, they can put the big margin on you. That doesn't mean that you're not a good basketball team. I mean, that means that maybe you get somebody else who can't trap and do their things, you're back right in the hunt.
Collier turned around, almost walked with it, but McGlure ran into it. And that'll be 4 on McGlure. So the big guys, McGlure and Nazir Muhammad, both with 4 fouls. If there's a little bit of ray of hope for Indiana, it's that the big guys are in foul trouble for the Wildcats.
The only shot you have against Kentucky and preparing for them, you better have great guard play. Because if you can't neutralize that press, and you can't take it away, because it's not only a defensive harassment, it's an offensive weapon that scores out of that. So you got to be able to handle that pressure.
Hey, Collier loads it up from downtown.
Jason Collier is going to be a big-time star at Indiana.
You know, he's 3 for 3 at his three-pointers. So not bad for a 7-footer.
Not bad at all. Knocked those 2 big ones in against Notre Dame.
And he has a foul on the other end. He got a lot of ball there on Mercer, but John Clougherty said he got him in the body.
You know, Indiana really had a game plan this year for their early pre-conference schedule. Bob Knight shared this with me. Number 1, we wanted to make up for our poor performance against Connecticut, and we did that. Came back and got a win. As you watch Mercer. Number 2, we wanted to come back and beat Notre Dame at Notre Dame. 2 years ago, they beat us there, he said. We did that. Number 3, we wanted a great performance in the preseason tournament. We were poor last year, he said. We played poorly up in Alaska. We did that, winning the preseason NIT. And the 4th one, I can't remember.
There was another one in there somewhere.
Well, the 4th one, we'd have to look. Let's see who else did they beat. The 4th one's got me. No, the 4th one might be that he wanted to make up was the Kentucky one. So 3 out of 4 is not all that bad.
Not that bad.
3 out of 4 is not all that bad.
Mercer and Anderson helping Kentucky to the big lead. 70-43 Kentucky with 11:52 remaining in the ballgame. Dominated by Kentucky from the get-go.
Well, they shut off Reed. Reed drifting a little bit now, not really running his man into those screens, trying to get free. I mean, you get really, really worn out. Here he is popping up, drifting. They switch on him. He's got to be a little bit more active running his people into those screens to get some shots, because he's the one guy that can knock down that jump shot. He's their real threat from three-point land.
On the other side for Kentucky, their first half, Mercer and Anderson. See Reed what he's done tonight compared to his season average. Mercer and Anderson scored the first 13 points of this game, and in the second half they scored 12 of the first 15 of the second half.
You know, you take a look at Reed. He had 11 for 28 coming into this game from three-point range. The rest of the club was only 10 for 44. But tonight he couldn't get any shots, so they got 2 attempts, and they really were switching on him anytime he came off the screen, making it tough for him to get a good look at the goal.
It's going to be real tough to get a good look sitting over there on the bench.
Yep.
Guyton. The 2 freshmen on top for Indiana.
The freshman inside. You play 3 kids who only were playing high school like about 6-7 months ago. And here they are playing in an environment like this.
Stripped away. Edwards knocked that one out of bounds.
And I'll tell you another point the general made with me about high school kids. He said, Dick, last year they're playing in high school where what they're doing defensively as freshmen, as high school seniors, they're just trying to stay on the floor. The coach is always saying, don't foul, don't foul. So they don't play really aggressive defense. And it's a big struggle making the adjustment to college.
Collier, nice turn, got the offensive rebound, and then buried the turnaround jumper. He's looking good.
He's a good-looking freshman. He's got the great touch. There's no substitute for a guy at that size with hands and who can shoot the basketball.
Mercer, nice crossover dribble, created a shot. Rebound comes off to Lewis.
Lewis, a big-time scorer in high school, over 2,000 points at Jasper High School. Jasper, Indiana, as a runner-up for Mr. Basketball. Let's look at Collier, the 7-footer. Number 40, trying to be active. There he is right now, going to go after the basketball. And then he takes that little turnaround jump shot. Little Dave Collins action right there with that jump shot.
He's got 19, and there's the other freshman, Guyton, and Guyton's had a good half.
I'll tell you, they got some good, positive people. And they add Luke Recker to that mix next year. See, I think next year Indiana is going to be special. I really do. I think this year they're going to have up and down moments, win their share of games.
Patterson. Mercer got the offensive rebound, lost the handle. And possession arrow will go Indiana's way. Collier down there fighting the 7-footer with Mercer.
That's a good sign, seeing a kid going after it. He got pretty good numbers here tonight.
Jason, a career high. We told you he had that by halftime. 19 points and 7 rebounds.
And really good shots. 7 for 10 and very active. Really playing aggressively, playing active. Getting a lot of minutes. In previous games, he would get himself into foul trouble. There's the guy they need right there, Reed. Indiana will go as far as this guy and Patterson. You can't just count on a freshman. The two big experienced guys got to really step it up. Reed on the perimeter and Patterson on the inside.
Guyton had it stripped away. Turner lays it in.
There's Wayne Turner. His grandmother stands up and cheers. That's my grandson. This is Kimball. He said, I give all the credit to my grandma. She raised me and helped me tremendously in Boston.
Guyton trying to lob one to Collier. And another turnover. Coming up Sunday nights, the Vikings and the Lions. John Randall will try to stop Barry Sanders. Can anybody really stop him? I doubt it. Vikings won the first meeting 17-13. They need a win to stay in that wild card hunt.
You should see Barry jump. I had him in a Slam Fest contest. He can really rise, Barry Sanders. You talk about agility and quickness. How did they lose it with Barry Sanders? How did they lose it with my guy Barry? Wow.
I'm not going to touch that one.
Uh-oh.
Wayne Fonch might be watching.
Oh, Wayne. Oh. We can't blame the coach now.
Nope. Guess not. Loose ball. Indiana picks it up. Guyton to Collier. Swatted out of there by McGlure.
I'll tell you, McGlure giving him a nice presence inside as a shot blocker.
Turner gets it.
Wayne Turner. Wayne Turner. Wayne Turner. When is he going to become special?
Miller still can't buy it.
Won't move ball for Miller at all. Great opportunities.
Turner played that so well. Played to the middle of the court so he could get it off to Mercer on the wing if he needed to, but that left him open by himself.
Yep, you're going to watch the block shot first by McGlure, and that starts the running game. It starts with possession of the basketball, penetration, and then points. The 3 Ps. Possession, penetration, and points.
You surprise yourself sometimes.
I've been surprising myself for 18 years.
Yeah. 74-47. Flying jumper by Turner.
Turner played in a private school out in the Boston area. He said every day I would get on a bus and go back to my inner city, and I'd see parents coming up with a Mercedes, picking up their kids. This was a different way of life. He went to a private school.
Patterson, 9 points for Andre.
Oh, deflection from the back. That's something that Kentucky usually does.
Guyton will bring it down 2-on-2 with Collier.
Bit of shake and bake. Oh, Collier should have had it. He was wide open to the inside of the lane. Recognition of the big people being open is really special.
Nice look. Patterson to Collier.
I'll tell you, that was a tough catch, Rob. He had to really show he had good hands to make that catch in the lane.
Jason, 8 out of 12 from the floor.
He's the best big kid they've had since Kent Benson. Benson had a little help around him, though, and Kent was a great college player. But anytime he had leadership like Quinn Buckner at the point, Wilkerson and May and Abernathy, guys like Jim Cruz off the bench, that was a special, special team. Buckner was such a leader, such an understood what Bob Knight wanted. One of Bob's favorite players was Buckner.
What Coach Knight wanted tonight was a turnover-free game, which he knew he would get, but I don't think he was thinking about 26 of them either.
Wow, 26 turnovers forced. 33 points off those turnovers. And not only that, as you see, Guyton with 7 turnovers today and only had 11 coming in 206 minutes of action. And if you break that down, I'm not a mathematical whiz, but in a 40-minute game, that's playing 5 games with 11 turnovers, and today he has 7.
Plus, I think he only had 1 against Duke, didn't he?
Yep.
76-51, 25-point Kentucky lead. Anderson around the pick, wide open.
I'll tell you, they're getting wide open Jays, and they're just knocking the Jays down.
27 for Derrick, and he's approaching another career high.
What makes this Kentucky team special is the different weapons. You can't really match up on any one part of the floor against them. And I just can't wait to see Padgett, because if Padgett is as good, as I said earlier, as Rick was singing his praises, and also the players. I went over to the players, because sometimes coaches make players that are sitting out Hall of Famers, you know, because they don't have them. But the players said, he's for real, baby.
Derek Anderson went over the 1,000-point mark in his college career tonight. Boy, he's done it in style. 27 points so far, including 4 threes. He has had quite a night. 23 points at halftime. And it's 79-51, just under 8 minutes to play. Brad Nessler and Dick Vitale in Louisville at Freedom Hall.
Hey, a little different than in 1924, the first time they met. It was 20-18, and the Hoosiers won. A little different style of play.
Yeah, Mercer and Anderson have more than that between them.
This Kentucky down being aggressive out of their zone now. Out here zoning, very active in their zone, good slides. Kind of getting a gap and seam in his zone.
Collier lost the handle. McGlory did a nice job behind him.
What's great for a kid like McGlory is when you can play behind people like Anderson and Mercer. You got people like you that can carry. You don't have to be the focus point like Collier has to be as a freshman.
Patterson's just been unable to get in the flow of things tonight. Credit Kentucky's defense for some of that. Air ball thrown up there by Guyton, pulled out of midair by McGlory. Comes Epson, Mercer, and
nice pass.
Anderson.
Oh yes, what a nice pass. Thunder to lightning. Oh no, don't showboat now. Come on, Derek. No, you don't need that. You don't need that. You don't need that here. You don't want to rub it in. You don't want to rub it in, Derek. You don't want to rub it in. You're too good, too talented. I know Rick doesn't like that stuff. Little shovel, just play. There's the bounce pass. There's the drive. There's the jam. Just put the jam down now. Don't need the mustard. Don't need the mustard. Don't need the mustard. No dancing. No dancing. No disco time.
Anthony Epps came up and grabbed him from the behind by the jersey and told him what you're saying and what I'm sure the coach would be saying on the sideline, and he just matched his career high with 30.
You don't want to rub it in. I mean, Patino's got another date with them. He goes on to the NBA, gets his millions, but they got to play him again. Because his motivation, you take that video and they do magical things. Nice pass by
Nice pass. Baseline cut by Patterson.
I really like Jason, really playing well tonight. He's not hanging his head as they're getting blitzed. This guy's won 11 Big Ten titles, 3 national championships. Don't humiliate him. I'll tell you one thing. You don't want to humiliate him.
Collier's had a huge night for a freshman, for anybody for that matter, against this Kentucky group. And Mercer and Anderson, 52 points between them.
He's still coaching. He is coaching on that sideline with Guyton. And he is really right there teaching and teaching and teaching.
Patterson's got in a dozen. 82-54.
He's got a quiet dozen, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Real quiet. Look, they're laying those screens. Little weak kind of screen. He's got to screen a little bit more aggressively.
I love Anthony Epps.
And Epson's got a smile. He'll be a football player, they say, next year. Good possibility.
3 field goals tonight. They're all threes. And Anthony's got 9.
He's a wide receiver when he came out of high school. Wasn't really heavily recruited in basketball.
Nice positioning by Collier, but he missed his shot. Patterson will clean it up for him.
There's Patterson working on the glass. Coming off the offensive end. Any way you cut it, though, it's only 1 loss. 6-1, you regroup, and now the coach gets your attention. You're not as good as our 6-0 record. So, guys, let's work. Losses this time of the year are not devastating. Believe me. You and I last year saw it. We had the game Kentucky and Mass after that loss.
That's right.
They only regrouped and ripped off 27 in a row.
27 in a row. Who's going to win a Heisman Trophy? We'll find out. Heisman Trophy presented by Wendy's coming up a week from tonight. The Downtown Athletic Club from New York. Danny Werfel. He has a touchdown pass tonight, we understand. Orlando Pace, maybe. Jake Plummer. Troy Davis. Byron Hanspard. Those are the big names anyway. Prickett underneath.
I'll tell you one thing. Tonight, Anderson is Mr. Naismith. You know Heisman, but he's Mr. Naismith. Great look by Anderson.
Patterson squares up over Prickett.
I'll tell you, he's going to have a very deceiving scoring total tonight. He's going to end up with his 20. Collier's really been an active player all night long. Patterson stepping up now in blowout time. That's what we call flood the stats sheet, baby.
Mercer looking down low to Prickett, who's double teamed and lost it out of bounds.
Prickett, a tireless worker, excellent rebounder.
Kentucky always known as a three-point club in years past. It hasn't been really the case this season until tonight.
Yeah, they've been active in terms of taking the ball to the glass, but tonight they've knocked down 11 for 20. A little different than the 1 for 9 and also 3 for 9. And non-factor tonight, Reed, who's a real good three-point shooter, 1 for 2 thus far tonight.
Just over 5 to play. Charlie Miller puts it up, and Epps with the rebound.
Some kids really struggle. He just needs a big game to get some confidence. Charlie Miller, he has ability. It'll happen for him if he doesn't hang his head and just keep playing hard. They say cream usually rises. That's original.
Well, there's been a couple of gallons of cream tonight for Kentucky. One's wearing number 33 and one's wearing 23.
And there's some solid goal out there as well. We talk Mercer and Anderson. They are a solid goal. Rolls-Royce performance. If I had to pick the top 7 players in America, I was just playing a game with myself. Those 2 guys are on it. I mean, you could have 2 of the top 7 in the United States on your team. You got a chance to win.
Here they come together.
Here they come. Thunder and Lightning. Hello. Yes, Lightning to Thunder.
56 between the two of them. They're on their average. Kentucky 91. Indiana 58.
Scary. Mercer's only a sophomore.
Prickett on the break on the steal. Jarrett.
Oh, he bricks it. He bricks it, and Anderson's going to get some more of an opportunity to go to the line. I'll tell you one thing. When you talk about Anderson and Mercer, they just create so much havoc, and they create momentum. There's a nice little 2-man game.
For Kentucky, stepping to the line.
Jared Prickett maybe a little bit tired after this last road trip.
For IU, we have Richard Battle.
Hit the back of the iron with a jam.
I don't know about you, Brad, but I think right now Rick's got to go to the bench and get guys like Mercer and Anderson. Now, you don't want a chance at injury right now, late in the game with a margin like this. I mean, you want your season to go down. There's really nothing more those kids have to prove on that floor to them.
This is a new career high for Derek Anderson if he hits his free throw. Now he's got one more try to get there.
I want a little drama, a little drum roll.
No, missed them both.
Missed them both there. I'll tell you, the last 5 years, Pitino's had the most wins per year, 29.6 wins. He's been to 2 Final Fours since he's been here, 4 SEC tournament titles, 2 SEC championships outright, 4. I mean, it's unbelievable. 4 Final 8 trips. What a job he has done since taking over at Kentucky.
Well, I've got him, Kentucky, that is. I'll have to check my schedule, but I'd say at least 5 more times this year. And if they get any better than this, it's going to get scary.
You're a lucky guy. I'll tell you, you're going to see some exciting basketball.
Yeah.
Some real excitement.
That's 5 on McGlure. He'll foul out.
I know this guy worries that he never loses any here.
McGlure goes out with 3:39 left. He fouls out. Did a nice job defensively tonight, even though he got in foul trouble. Had some block shots, 5 rebounds.
I'm a little surprised he hasn't taken out Mercer and Anderson yet. Get him a little standing ovation. The big blue will give him a big roar. And this game is tucked away right now in the Kentucky record books as a W. I mean, that bus driver lit that bus up a long time ago.
Miller missed a free throw. We got a timeout with 3 minutes, 36 seconds remaining in this one, and it is dominated by the Wildcats.
Nolan Richardson has built a winner in Fayetteville, a national championship and 4 straight Sweet 16 appearances this decade. Tonight, turbocharged point guard Kareem Reed sparks the Razorback attack against super scorer Kelly Thames and the Missouri Tigers. Next.
91-59. Derek Anderson and Ron Mercer. Mercer going out now as he finished with 26. Anderson still in there with 30, so in his hometown of Louisville. Maybe one more try at a new career high, and then I think he'd sit.
Yeah, Rick will get him out, and he'll get that standing ovation.
Bill's in there. Steve Anderson touches it one more time around the pick here. Prickett's going to take it outside.
Prickett wants to join everybody else shooting threes. Says, let me get in the party.
Miller brings it down for Indiana. We approach 3 minutes.
You're going to see Mr. Anderson come out now. This place will erupt. There'll be blue mania.
Nice lob inside. And Richards
Basket by Richardson.
Yeah, Larry Richardson right out there. Gets his deuce tonight. We get some minutes.
Anderson, Epps, Mills, Prickett, and Edwards on the floor for Kentucky. Right on their average of 91. Here's backdoor look to Epps and a foul on Miller underneath.
Richardson, a red shirt, 6'9", from out of Florida. Got an orange mark, Florida.
She's second to the team's 6.
Relax, here we go.
Mercer, between Mercer and Anderson, seems like every game one of the two's had a new career high this year.
Well, look at Steve. Come on, Steve. You're going to get some PT, some playing time. This is a member of my all-airport team. I love him. Look at him smiling. He told me I'm going to Kentucky because of Mr. Pitino. He said, I like the lasagna. His wife, Joanne, makes great lasagna. I better be careful saying that. Might be an NCAA violation. Not allowed to eat the lasagna.
Epps with 10, so Anthony's into double figures, too. Don't forget Arkansas and Mizzou coming up next.
How much do you have to really respect and like a coach to turn down full scholarships to come as a walk-on when you can get minutes, you can play elsewhere, but he wanted to be part of the whole environment at Kentucky.
Anthony Epps had a huge game despite the fact he doesn't get the big numbers.
No, he's just a solid, steady player. And look who comes in. Steve, and now Henderson takes the star strut down his lane here in Louisville. He owned Louisville tonight. Gets a hug from his coach.
Matches his career high, Derek Anderson.
That's my guy Stevie. He's going to get too much playing time. I can't put him on the all-airport team. All-airport is you look good, but you get no PT. He's getting some PT now.
As we approach 2 minutes, 93-60.
I'm rooting for Stevie to score. I want to see Stevie score today. Get on the stat sheet.
And foul underneath.
Tom Rucker with the call. 25 years blowing the whistle. One of the real premier steady guys in the officiating business. Just a class guy. Got to know him really well when I was coaching in Detroit. He's an administrator in the real world. I think a lot of people don't realize these guys have real jobs all day long.
They run around the country this time of year more than you and I do.
I know they really do. Fly here, fly there. We've got a busy week, though. We've got a lot of games, you and I, this week.
Yeah, we have.
This is our 5th this week. Tomorrow I'll be there at 1:30, tipping off Michigan and Duke.
That'll be a dandy, too.
Yep.
Miller.
Yeah, about time. He deserves to get a deuce.
Yeah. He's had to work awful hard.
Oh, really hard.
And inadvertent whistle there. As they thought that Coach Pitino would call the timeout, and he had.
Rick said, I don't want no timeout. I didn't call a timeout. Tommy O'Neill worked in the NBA. Was an NBA official at one time. Worked the 91 game in the Final Four in that game with Duke and UNLV. One of the great wins by Duke. That UNLV team. Bob Hurley with a big three with a minute to go. Helping Mike Krzyzewski with his first national title by beating Kansas for the championship.
Edwards alone outside the arc.
I'll tell you, these guys are just screening, stepping back, knocking down the threes, just like Mr. Pitino plans.
Now it's a matter of how many guys for Kentucky can get double figures before it's over. Turner's still out there with an opportunity to.
You know, last year they won the national title. Indiana was 87. With us the year they used the three-point shot for the very first time. And Steve Alford was one of the real premier three-point shooters in college basketball. There's Edwards knocking it down. But also in that Final Four was Providence with Rick Pitino.
As the three by Edwards and the reaction by Anthony Epps.
Look at Epps. He gets up. Look at Mercer.
Talk about a Kentucky team that could shoot three-pointers. It wasn't that long ago when they had to live off it. And there's a guy they lived on.
Yeah, he's a movie star. He's in a movie. He told me today. He said he's really still working on a movie, Sixth Man. You and I are in that movie with him. Disney production.
You almost won't recognize Travis in that movie. He's got kind of a buzz haircut and it's dyed red.
Hey, we didn't make the cut even before it, did we? You and I? I hope not. I hope they still got our part in there. I'm not going to promote the movie if we don't.
Bigger all the time.
Wow, Sixth Man. Remember, it's going to be a great, great movie. Brad and I might get an Academy Award. They're going to invite us to the premiere?
Yeah, they are.
Wow.
Sometime in spring, Disney will bring you that wonderful family movie.
Yeah, a lot of fun. About time we get some family movies.
Turner off the turnover.
Hey, we might challenge Michael, the movie star. I think his paycheck's a little higher. Look at my guy, Stevie.
Going to the free throw line.
Yeah, Stevie Lasagna going to go to the free throw line. Come on, Stevie. What a great kid. Had a tremendous time with him today as we look here. 56 points between them, 10 rebounds, and they just dominated.
So Steve Masiello goes to the free throw line.
Masiello and Pitino. Oh, come on, Stevie. You got to knock that down. Pitino was
I think that's what he just said. You got to knock that down.
Pitino was a shooter, went over to the University of Massachusetts. Yeah, gets on the board, tickles the twine, and the bench loves it.
We saw Kentucky go over 100 against Purdue from the Big Ten, and it appears they might have an opportunity to do the same here tonight. They lead 97-63. Ball comes out to Edwards, clears out to Masiello. Well, Turner picks it up.
Masiello wants the three. He's going to go. No, he's going to take it to the goal.
And he'll go back to the free throw line.
He said, Coach, give me a scholarship. Coach, look at this now. I got to get some scholarship aid, Coach. I'm going to negotiate for him. I said, look, Rick, he's a great practice player. A lot of other teams want him. Let's go. Give the kids give him a ride. Come on, Ricky P. Take care of one of your paisans.
Arkansas, Missouri, don't forget, waiting in the wings.
This team will be back, Indiana. Maybe down for a moment. The General's too good a coach. They got too many good kids, quality people, quality coaching staff. With Dan Dockage, Ron Felling, Bob Knight, Norman Ellenberger. A.J. Guyton's a winner. Andre Patterson's a winner. And so is Jason Tyron, that whole gang, Neil Reed. They will be back, and you'll be hearing about them in the Big Ten this year. Yes, I'm glad for him. I'm happy. We're not supposed to root, but I'm rooting for Charlie. They want the 100. The crowd wants the 100. Rick says, just dribble it out. You don't have to play. Just play it out. Rick saying, play it out. Rick said, we don't need the 100. Unless they foul, go to the line. Rick Pitino. Not interested in numbers. He wants just a W, and he got it tonight. It'll be a nice ride back to Lexington.
Well, a huge night for Derek Anderson and Ron Mercer. And Rick Pitino wins it over Bob Knight, 99-65. For Dick Vitale and our ESPN crew from Louisville and Freedom Hall, Brett Nessler saying so long on ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports, where Kentucky beats Indiana big. Let's head back to Steve Levy in the studio. Steve?